that was probably really bad now that I think about it, because it was probably playing that back as I was listening to it. Hmm. Let me know. But welcome to Friday Night Stock Talks. I actually got the wrong banner up behind me, but all is good. We're still working out the kinks on getting all this set up. I hope you like the countdown. Not exactly sure if you guys could hear what I was hearing. If you could, I'm sorry, because it was probably echoing, and that was probably not a good thing. And it's probably kind of sucks because it was a good song. I like that song. And kind of, get you pumped up a little bit. So, what we're going to talk about tonight, time and sales, tape reading, as well as doing the giveaway. But first, let's do our intro just because I love it. Well, that's good, Scott. Welcome. Yeah, hopefully I didn't even think that maybe you guys could hear what I hear, because I know when I used to stream on like Twitch and stuff back when I played video games a lot, they could hear what you hear. So I didn't know if that was the case, but maybe it wasn't. So good. First off, I just want to say welcome, and I'm gonna go ahead and go over to my trading screen here. And I just wanted to say we're up to 106, just climbing, climb. Let's do it. Like everyone was saying, 1K is the next stop. 110 is the next stop. So, baby steps. But with that, if you guys have any questions throughout this, whole live stream, feel free to pop in and let me know. I'll be more than happy to ask. Any questions about anything? We're going to try to focus on, the tape reading, time and sales, and we're going to go. I got some, as you can see across the top here, I picked out 10 examples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8. Nope. 7 are mine, and I actually have 3 from Garage Day Trader. Yes, I asked for permission. He said it was okay until I'm sure he'll come in here and if he's already watching, tell you that he didn't say it's okay, but he did. And we're just going to go from there. I'd like to go over a few just before doing the giveaway, maybe let a couple people get in here. But what I'm really looking to go over is for each of these, I'm actually going to pull up, one of my trades via, that was where I wanted to be, the YouTube channel. And all we're going to focus on is time and sales. So I can actually probably just circle it on here. And what we're looking for is you're looking for the price action to be going up, obviously, because that's the part of the strat that we're looking at. But hopefully this will just introduce you into almost how to read the time and sales, because you can use this in a multitude of ways. But for my strategy, this is how I use it. You can use it like, say you got a descending triangle and you see the time and sales just start printing reds. The odds are if you're at the support level that you're looking to break through, it's getting ready to break through. But in this case, we're looking for, as it's going up, we're looking for time and sales to kind of start to print whites and reds instead of the greens. And you'll notice that there's actually different color greens. When you see like the normal color greens, that's just things getting hit on the ask. When you see the light greens, that means people are hitting above the ask, like they're marketing in like gimme. And the same goes for the red. You can't see it in this one. Let's see if I can find one real quick. It's a darker red. Of course, I'm not gonna see any. Oh, here we go. So down here, there's a darker red, and you'll see those when it's just in reverse. But we're going to start over here. Trader Cat, welcome. Meow. I'm sure you can hear my woofs snoring in the background. They look pretty out of it. So anyways, back to what we're looking for. We're looking for that price action to go up, and we're looking for overextended moves. Now, my particular strategy is to look for the overextension from VWAP. I'm looking for it to just, get away from its previous price point and just completely extend itself. The quicker, the better. Because the quicker the move, the more unstable it is as far as, trying to stay up top. Full of fajitas? What's full of fajitas? I love fajitas, although I had just pizza tonight. But we're going to just jump right into the straight one. I'm going to probably look to pause and, kind of just show you guys. But make sure, I'm going to let you know when I hit play so that you guys are paying attention to it. And we're just going to watch the time and says, this is actually my trade from today. And it was a decent one. So, and a little backstory, when I actually pulled this chart up, you can go watch the video yourself, but I pulled the chart up and it had already made its quick move to, as you can see up here, towards $20.40. So I was actually looking for this to maybe continue, but I was reading the time and sales and it felt like she wasn't going to, and you'll see that as I kind of take my entry here. But so I hit play, and as you can see, this was not the fastest moving one, but you can see that she gets up here to 30 again, and I'm looking for it to go high a day, maybe push up to 2050. But look at all all right, so I took my position there because I saw all that green come in. It tried to push up over 30, get back up towards the high a day push that it had, and then right away it got slammed down again. So to me, I kind of came into this chart late, but obviously it got slammed down once. It tried to go back up while I was there at the beginning to 30, and it came back down. And then it finally tried again, got up to 34, and got slammed right back down. So that was my cue that, okay, this overextension is probably done for now. It's going to most likely do a pullback at least before it decides to continue if it wants to. And so that's what we're looking for. So now we can kind of just let this play out for a sec. And as you can see, 25 actually turned out to be, if you're looking, I'm going to pause again. If you're looking at level 2, which I don't use level 2, but you probably would have seen some big orders here. This might even have been a hidden order, but you'll see a lot of prints coming through at 25 as it was trying to break through. And she kind of ends up just hanging out here for a minute. Doing business with the Chinese. What's up, Piss Off Banka? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, like I was telling everybody, if you weren't in here before, feel free to let me know. It doesn't have to be time and sales or tape reading related. If you have another question, we can go off topic for a little bit, but we're going to hit play and let this ride out for a minute. And I'm positive this actually attempts to keep going up. And I actually get a little bit upset because we're going to go over to, I wonder if I do turn the sound on, if you guys can hear this. Actually flush. 25 seems to be, because I go over to as you can see down here on the scanner, the ISW scanner, AD&T. Now the reason I chose PE to get in at the beginning, I could scroll back here. What are we at now? 130. So when I came over to PE, I'm looking at the scanner, and they were both kind of giving me the same alert. RBZ, obviously, we weren't paying attention to. That thing was just nuts with no, low volume and low float. But I was looking at these two, and the reason I chose PE was because of the volume. I'm looking for stocks with volume. They were similar price, similar percentage and change for the day, but the volume is what I was looking for. However, once I got into my move, it just, AD&T just kind of kept going, whereas in PE decided to stop. Level. And I told myself I was a little upset. Okay, so here I switched over to AD&T while I was in PE, and now watch the time and sales. I actually pulled this up almost at the perfect time. Yeah, this is frustrating. So as you can see, all these green prints, you made up a new high. We would totally be in right here. White and red. I told myself, I was like, we would totally be in right here because we basically saw, look at this overextension. Her normal price point was down here. She gapped up, and then right out of the gate, she just parried. And I mean, that's a huge move. So obviously she's most likely going to have some type of pullback, or just, decide to be done for the most part. But as we were reading the time and sales right when I pulled it up, you just saw it try to go and get that next push, maybe to, went through 2150, and she was trying to, make the big push. I can't do it because of the buying power issue. She just gets shot down. Like she tries again, 77, and then look at that. Take a mental note of that one. And then this one eventually does just kind of chill out. But actually, here, this is another good spot for time and sales. This is frustrating, especially because this one isn't moving now. Sound off. So as you can see, she actually tries to go high a day again, and this is a good point or a good spot to read the tape again. And look at all these green prints, and then she looks like she wants to, and then sure enough, green, 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 and then we're just looking for that red, and there it is. You're looking for all that red, and then look what happens. Boom. And then we finally get our move down. And we actually, the reason we took that right there is because I was watching AT&T down here on the scanner, and it was just really getting at me, and I wanted in. We switched right over to it, and when we got over here, it actually was still up near high a day, but I was just so flustered, and I wasn't watching it like completely, so I didn't know how I wanted to play this, and then I just told myself, I was like, well, I don't like how it's playing. I was looking at the spread, and I was like, well, if she gives us the 22 pop, we'll go ahead and take it. But she ends up not giving us the 22 pop, and it actually ended up being the top too, which was pretty frustrating. And as you can see, PE actually ended up giving us a lot more, and our entry was pretty much a top tick as well. And then when we looked over here at AT&T, it was the same difference. If you remember that 2180, and then she repushed, that's what we were looking at the second time. That was her top as well, right on the overextension out of the gate. And I mean, those were big moves down if you held on. This one gave you a descending triangle. PE gave you a descending triangle. I mean, it was a beautiful day for those two stocks to play. It's just, with the smaller account and not being able to play both at the same time, it was a little bit frustrating. So let me catch up real quick. Can you see your own order in the time and sales? Most of the time, no, I cannot. And SureTrader, I'm pretty sure every broker's like this, because I've actually asked SureTrader, and they're very open about it. They own shares of these companies. So say I put in an order for 300 shares of a company. If they have those shares available, I'm basically buying or selling from them. That's why on SureTrader, when they have shorts available, it's an infinite number. They're not like other brokers where they only have a certain amount available, because you're basically buying those shares or shorting those shares from SureTrader. Now, they do say if you want to buy or short, or not, if you wouldn't be able to short unless they own the shares, but if you're buying a stock that they don't have shares of, you would then most likely see your shares pop up on the time and sales or your order. Turn off the volume. I was trying to listen to the sound because I was just showing that I was frustrated. But yeah, my bad. GDT. Everyone loves GDT. Yeah, GDT. I brought my shot glass for you. And look, this thing took a little bit of a hit since last Friday. Had a couple drinks. Opening the bottle is dangerous because then I tend to keep drinking it. Just fajitos and pico de gallo. Tim's beard in the house. What up, Kevin? How you doing, man? That water bottle. I do have water. I don't have any more Coke Zero. I just drank the last one as I was gathering everything for the stream. So yeah, I actually do have water. It's right here. But that's not what goes in the shot glass. Kevin the redhead. He's still recovering from earlier. You guys can ask him. So anyways, let's go on to the second one. I guess we can just close that one out since we did that. And okay, so this one is AEHR. And this one was a pretty good one. So as we're watching the time and sales here, you're going to see that this one wasn't necessarily a quick mover, but she did get that pop over 2, and we were just looking to see if she would continue over 2. And what we saw there was that she basically just came to a halt. She had all this volume come in, 150,000 shares, and she basically just stopped. Like the volume just stopped. So to me, that was an indication that either she's just taking a break and no one wants to sell, or that she's ready to be done. And so let's see what happens. And the reason I took that starter there is because if she stops and she was getting ready to come down, I didn't want to miss the move. And the beauty of this strategy is you don't have to be 100% right. And as you will see, literally right after I took the position, she decided, okay, she was just taking a little bit of a breather and she wants to go. And I even mentioned in the video, or as I was live trading, that, okay, now we're going to really find the top. So as you can see, she's continuing, and then I believe she makes one more pop. Yep, see, we're still green and white, green and white, green and white. We're not really looking for that. And then we're looking for her to basically just find a top and then stop. And right here, okay, so look at that. Somebody shorted and they tried to just smash the bid. You see white, then you see more red. So that's our indication that, you know, she might be done. You see more red coming in, more white. I'm just trying to slow this down so you guys can see it. And less green, okay, more red, and I had just taken my 400 shares there. So, and this actually does end up being pretty much a top tick. I'm just checking my share size because I always like to get 10 cents on my added shares. And sure enough, there we go. Boom. Look at that. Can't ask for much better. This actually ends up playing out. Really, there's not much to read on the tape unless, you know, she decides to pop back up there. But as you can see, she just kind of continues to die off. And this actually ended up being a really good trade for us. The hair of the dog that bit you. Do you think these orders are sent by humans or algos? Algos don't play these cheapo stocks. I mean, I don't really see a reason for them. And that's also... I mean, I can't see many. I really think personally, obviously I have no idea for real, but I think the algos are really into, you know, the higher cap stocks. You know, they're looking for in and out 2-3 cents. You know, some of these algos, that's all they're looking for. You know, they're not looking for, you know, big moves like this. I really think the reason that penny stocks and the low cap stocks in general, you know, sub $10 stocks are all retail traders, because the algos, I don't feel, want to mess with them. You know, there just might be, you know, you could really get yourself in trouble with an algo that, you know, fails or something. And, you know, imagine getting into something stupid like what was it RBZ today? I mean, imagine something stupid like that. I like to think I have a plan. What was interesting? Trader Cat enlightened me, so I know to pat myself on the back. But no, I do really think that, you know, and that's one of the main reasons I'm so attracted to, you know, these types of stocks, is because I really feel like I'm actually trading against other humans per se and other traders, and you get the real human psychology behind it. You know, I don't really think that there's many algos. I think what we're seeing with these big moves, you know, are just bigger players that are playing much bigger share size than we are. Yeah, I really don't think that they are. You know, I really think the algos are, I mean, look at AMD. There's a reason that AMD trades pretty much the most volume of any stock pretty much every day. I mean, well, not every day, but they're always up there. And it's for a reason, because, I mean, you have algos just literally just trading thousands upon thousands and thousands of shares in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. They're just looking for 3-4 cents over and over and over and over again. And that's what they're there for. I mean, who in there? I mean, to me personally, I know GDT loves AMD, but why would I personally want to go? Let's pull it up real quick. Like, why would I want to go into a stock where, look at this range, like it's big move. Like, say you played this big pop, you got a high of 28.38, and then the low on the day, you know, so you're talking a 60-cent range pretty much for the whole day. I mean, that's not that great, you know? I mean, when you're talking like a bit, you have to catch a big move, the low here, 27.83 to 28.15. Like, that's not necessarily a huge move, but on the chart, it looks like a huge move. Like, the range isn't that big, but you have algos in here that are just looking to get the, you know, that 4 or 5 cents, 3, 4, 5 cents over and over again. And that's what they're doing. I've noted lower profile, larger price names often play better than say Apple. Algos done. Yeah, and that's true. I don't think algos mess with the higher price stocks either, mainly because they cost as much as they do. Like it's hard to try to get into a higher price stock that can move 1 to 2 points on you, versus something like AMD that even if you get into a bad trade, you're only going to lose 10 cents. You're not going to let your algo go past that. But something that can jump a point on you at any point in time, like that's, they don't want to mess with that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't going to. I knew you weren't going to miss it, but I didn't know you wanted me to drink already. All right. I'll get right to this one, and then we'll get back to... Well, let me just finish AEHR before I give the nice pop sound. Just scrolling forward, you can see that we put a nice little order in. I'm pretty sure I lost connection during this trade, too. But as you can see, we top ticked that one pretty good on the ad. And, this really felt like the top, when it really stopped. But like I said, when you feel it stop like that and you don't get any selling pressure, the odds are it's just taking a breather. And since no one's selling, if no one's selling, that means people are just going to keep buying. And like I said, that's the beauty of this strategy is, if she takes off again, we can look to add when we really do find the top, because look how extended she already was there. So if she wants to extend more and as fast as she did, let her. That's awesome. That's what we want. And sure enough, we got it, and then we got out of those shares. So we were back to our original size at a higher, at a higher average. And then sure enough, she gave us that nice move. We ended up taking half of the 400 left here, and then we took the other 200 down even further. And that was our first. I gotta get the sound. The first $100 trade on the new strategy, which was awesome. And I actually have a real shot glass this time. Let me put this back in. It smells so good. Jonathan, thank you. Appreciate that, and welcome. Appreciate it. If you, like I've told everyone else, if you have any questions at any point in time, even if it's not about time and sales or just reading the tape, feel free to ask, because I'm here to answer, or at least to the best of my knowledge. And looks like we have a bunch of great, personalities as well as traders in here as well. So if I can't answer, maybe somebody else can. And yes, fajitas. I really wish Trader Cat would come and give me some fajitas. Oh, God, that first one just chased out, but a little bit of water. First one gets you. Whew. Go Preds. No. I mean, Preds can do what they want, but yeah, as long as the Pens are losing. I have to deal with that for a sec. Yep, Pens are losing. I got 11 minutes left. Sweet deal. And Winnipeg and St. Louis. As long as we win tomorrow night, I'll be pretty happy. So, on to the next one. Let's do a GDT one since he's here. Or wait, drinking game. Okay. How do we get you in? What do we got to do? Every time you say the word STOCK, who is you? I didn't say it because if it's me, that could get really out of hand. Pennyland lost a lot of volume in the last recession. Still trades to take, but way less frequent. This past 2 weeks has been pretty bad. It was definitely a taste of the summer months. And when I first started trading, I jumped in early August of last year, and it was slow. I was like, is this how it always is? Like, I didn't know any better, and I was just like, what am I getting myself into? It was like I was really passionate about it or at that point already, and I was just like, man, I hope it's not like this. But it wasn't. Obviously, we got into the winter times, and it was pretty awesome as far as volatility. But Yeah, these past 2 weeks, gave us a little taste of the summer months. But there's always going to be plays, so you just gotta have awesome scanners like these guys in order to find them every day, nice and quickly. I just realized I'm not putting myself in the corner. I don't know why. So all right. So this next one, so we're gonna do a GDT one. We'll do SGMO here, and his time of sale is actually a little bit easier to see right here. And actually, let me redo that so that we can see the chart. Let me just not do it. It might be easier. I'll do a half. Look there. Yeah, I mean, Scott is sort of right, maybe. Who knows? We don't know what kind of volume we're going to get each and every day, so. And just like GDT said, market and economy growth look good, so no worries. Now, yeah, if real quick before we get into this, just looking at the SPY, I mean, she's up above 290. I mean, she was there this morning, and she's holding up there right above there now. And I mean, look at this move that she had down here on the daily. I mean, that was a pretty big crash all the way down to 234. And I mean, she rebounded pretty nicely. So I think we're almost back up to, 293, almost 294. We're almost back up to where we were before all that even happened. Everyone's talking about, the market's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. And look at it now, let them talk. So anyways, we're going to hit play here on SGMO. This is a GDT trade. And now real quick, this is not typically something I would trade just because, looking left, I like to look for the high a day plays, just to look for the nice big overextension over high a day. However, this actually isn't a bad play. It was a good resistance point. It was already extended, and we're coming up to that key $0.50 spot. So looking for that 1350, as I'm pretty positive, I remember watching this, he does say he's looking for that 1350 spot. I actually probably would have been in this a little bit earlier because reading the tape, it actually looks like she's done, which we'll hit play. So like right here, I mean, it kind of looks like she's done. Look at all this red, the white, and I might have hit the button right there looking for this thing to just start flushing, and I would have been wrong because I would have been wrong. But that's the beauty of this strategy. But that's also why I don't like playing these a little bit, because if I was wrong there and say we're wrong again on the 1350, okay, so right here, look at all this green, and then it starts turning white to red, and then boom, GDT played that perfectly. That's exactly where I would have got in. And it looks like she's not done. You get this green, but then still look, all this red, all this white. And then you fast forward a little bit, I think, right there. But it was pretty much the same thing. You saw it coming down. Look at all the white and red, and you're coming right back down. So, I mean, even if I would have got in right here on my first one, I would have added up there. I would have been looking to get out of those shares, and then I would have been looking for this thing to continue. And the reason I don't like playing these is because a lot of times when you break this key level here, just in the past when I used to, long stocks, I mean, you got like a nice little W forming here. And then usually just when you break this, sometimes it'll try to go back towards the high a day. So I tend to, stay, but this was pretty extended from where it was, pretty quickly. So can't fault the trade here. And, he read the tape almost perfectly. And I believe, yeah. So as it played out, you can see she comes down, and she came down all the way down to almost 13, and she came back up a little bit, retested, and then she just came all the way back down under 13. So that would have been a great trade, even if you got in a little bit early. 4K monitor will do that. Oh, yeah. I need to get myself one of those, but I honestly don't have the space for it. I got like my 4 23-inch monitors, and that's really all I can fit, basically stacked in here. From what I've heard from the small cap veterans, 2015 to current has been incredible compared to the past. Always new traders getting into it in a bull market. I'm optimistic though. Well, The market is an interesting place because for everyone that's making money, somebody's losing money. And unfortunately, the more traders that are getting into it, regardless, it's kind of what you want. It's kind of like sitting down at a poker table and you want someone to come to the table that doesn't know what they're doing so you can take their money. So it's one of those things where you don't want people to lose their money, but you kind of need them there if you want to make the money. So it's just one of them things. Yes, recessions don't last forever. You're right about that. Over time, trading has become easier to access for the little guy. Newer traders look immediately to penny stocks. Just my thoughts. And it's true. And I don't even trade penny stocks. If it's under $1, I'm not looking at it. I was looking at VTL over the course of the week, but I was just watching it and I couldn't even short it. I'm very short biased at the moment. So I really wasn't paying attention to that. I know a lot of people were and actually, saw a bunch of people make some good money on it. I feel like day trading is more popular than ever. It does seem to be. SGMO is a crap is crap short at all. Well, then why'd you sell it? You should still be in it. Let's see. You were in at 1357. Ooh. All you had to do was hold it, bro. It's down to $12. So it will X out of that one. So is it just fajitas for dinner? I love fajitas. People need money, multiple income streams. Too many people can't find jobs. And that's true. A lot of people turn to this, because they can't find a job. And one of the reasons I turn to this is because I stay at home with my kids. And so I needed to do something from home. And I sure the hell wasn't going to sit here and do surveys. Let me sit here and do a survey for 2 hours and get paid $5. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, but I just didn't want to sit here and, work at night or something. I was just looking for something I could be in and out, and then, I can be accessible to my kids, for the remainder of the day. Everyone from the dot-com bubble said it was super popular then, too. Cycles, I guess, yeah. And the one thing that will never change is human psychology. Greed will always be there, and fear will always be there. So, the market will always have those two things, and if there's always new people to express those two feelings, there's always going to be a market. Does Trader Cat live near us, Jonathan? It sounds like I want some fajitas. Can we get that smirk off my bad? Or did I? Is it this smirk? I think you look good with that smirk. I'll take it off for now and give me some weird face. Yeah, Facebook profile. I like it. Traders got to eat. I'm telling you. I'm assuming you meant when we do our trading summit, I'm in charge of catering. Sweet deal. Sounds good to me. That's awesome. So I almost went to Trader Expo in New York, but damn baby got in the way. Yeah, I actually looked into that, but that was just not in the cards for me. Trader Cat, where do you live? Colorado. Oh, man. That's too far away. All right, let's get into the next one. We'll jump back into one of mine. So this was TGTX. And we're going to be focusing right here on the time and sales. And as you guys can see, this one, again, when I'm looking at these scanners, I'm usually looking for ones that are making an even bigger move than this. But I remember this was part of the last 2 weeks where the market was just kind of dead. So usually I'm looking at ones that are up over 30 on the, I3 indicator. But in this case, I was just watching the scanner and I saw TGTX pop up, and it's the only one that had a decent amount of volume. And I had already looked at Palm, and I knew that I couldn't short it, so that's why I didn't pull that one up. So let's go ahead and hit play. And we're going to watch time and sales. Obviously on this one, we're going high a day here. We're in our heads, we're looking for the 9 flush. The float was 66 million basically. So on these quick moves, the odds of it running real fast against us weren't that great. So that was good for us. We looked at the daily. She was through the 200, but looking left, there's still plenty of resistance. And so that's why, those are the couple things that I look left and I check the float. Those are like my two main ones. So hit and play here. We're looking for this pop over 9. There it is. And now we're going to look to see how far she wants to go. And right away, she starts getting slammed down. So we jump in right there. And I went back and watched, and $8.99 was on the bid. So it is what I got, for my order. But I was a little upset, I remember, in the moment, because every time, one of my main things is I'm looking to get in over the whole dollar, so that the odds are when she comes under the whole dollar again, it's hard for her to break back through, for that second chance. But as you could see, we were looking for that pop through 9. We looked for it to stop. Once she felt like she was done and she was coming back down, that's when we hit the button. And then I'm pretty sure this one, I think this one comes down. I don't think she tries to go back up. I think she toys her out. Okay, yeah. Oh, I do remember this one now. Yeah, she comes up to high day right here. And this is actually a good spot where we should have been looking to add, because she's double topping here, and look at her failing. So she got right up there. She tried to go high day. It's a high day, fake out, breakout, basically. She's trying 910. She can't get through, reading okay, and then she's getting smashed, and right there, bam. That could have been a second entry to really kind of double up on her share size, knowing that she was going to fail. And then we would have been looking to get under 9, obviously, for these. We could take half, once we get under there, and then we could ride out the remaining 300. But in this case, since we didn't smash it again, we just have our original 300, and we're, again, back to our original plan, just looking probably for that VWAP. Yeah, I put it right there at VWAP. And sure enough, we get filled. So there you go. And she continued straight through. I actually think GDT might have took this trade too. Yeah, Colorado is pretty far. Trip to Vail? Where's Vail? Hobnob with the celebs. Yeah. We can all meet up at GDTs and go from there. Yeah, we can all carpool. Ski resort. Which one? Where'd you go to college? If it was in state, I can probably guess the college. But knowing that you work for like the NSA, I don't think that you actually went to the college I'm thinking of. Yeah, okay. Once on the cover of Blue Mountains brochure, jumping their logo on my snowboard. I would love to see that. Where's the picture? Proof or it didn't happen. Chittercat, thank you for joining. Party for all of us. I will take a shot later. I don't want to take too many right away. You've never snowboarded, Jonathan? Wow. That would be fun to see you do for the first time. Friday. Twitter. Oh geez. Yeah, this is a good one. This one this actually turns out to be a good trade, just not so much because of commissions. We'll do Twitter, and then we'll do the giveaway announcement real quick, and then we'll get right back into these. So Twitter, this was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I obviously, looked at the daily and saw that the 200 was right there. That was really the only reason I took this trade, thinking that if we did get to the 200, we would probably look to reject there. Obviously the float on Twitter was high. Yeah, 753 million. So the fact that she was moving like this was just insane. And I'm pretty sure, I don't remember how I even came across this. I mean, it was on the scanner, but it wasn't like super high. This might have been something somebody mentioned in the room, and I just pulled it up out of curiosity, and I saw it looking like this, and I was like, I have to play this. I don't care what the price is. So, I dumb it down to 50 shares, and we're just going to watch it. So I'm reading time and sales. I'm looking for that $0.50 pop here. I mean, once I felt the $0.50 pop, it really felt like she just wasn't going to keep going, and I'm pretty sure I take a position here. The old starter position. So she was still going. There was really no key that she was done yet. right here, she kind of looks like this is probably no. I mean, there's still okay right here. So I probably jump in. Yeah, I'll say I probably jumped in there once. You could really feel her kind of coming back down. Once she starts getting slammed down like that, the odds are, she's ready for a little bit of a pullback, especially when she's already so overextended like this. And once I get this is the bad thing about trading 50 shares. And today I even considered trading 25 shares on the stock that brought GDT back today. Yeah, I know. Share trader is just, yeah. But as you can see, she actually decided that was just going to be a little bit of a breather, and she wanted to continue. So we'll get back to reading the tape real quick. I don't think I added here because I really wanted to be careful with this one. You don't want to just add, looking to take shares off immediately. When you get in something that can move a little bit faster like this, you kind of want to just look for the major resistance points. You want to look for the half dollars and the whole dollars. And I'm pretty sure that's what I do throughout this trade. So I'm probably in my head looking to not add unless we get up through 34, but we'll see. Okay, so I added there because it did look like she was kind of stalling out. Even though it was all green, you could see that it was all 80. So obviously they were trying to get through a key resistance point. And of course, right when I hit it, they decided to go right through it. So now how the strategy does work, we're looking for that third ad if we have to get there. So if we were to get to that third ad, that would be our third and final ad. And after that third and final ad, if she wants to go even higher, that's when you just kind of look to cut your loss if you couldn't get out of any of your shares. So right here, we're actually looking as she finally does decide to pull back. As you can see on the chart, she never actually got through that 34 mark. So we would be looking to get rid of these shares as we do right there. And I'm pretty sure if we fast forward a little bit, maybe I'll say I'm pretty sure she decides to go again. Yep, right here. So now she got over 34, and we're looking to add those shares back that we got rid of. And we do it right there because it looked like she was about to be done. She was topping out. She was printing 3405s over and over again, and she decided that she wasn't done. But the extra 5 cents, that wasn't going to kill us, but it actually ends up being a little bit more than that. So you're not going to top tick everything, obviously. And that's the beauty of the strategy. You don't always have to be, top ticking stuff. And as you can see, she's going to start to come back down, and maybe not. So, I mean, this stock was, remember the float on this thing was 750 million, and it was moving like this. I mean, it was going nutty. I mean, look at that extension. It was crazy. So as you can see, this was just too close to our last entry. Obviously, we're looking for that whole dollar, half dollar breaks on these. And she never even really gets close. She does end up coming back down. I believe that ended up being the top. And as you can see, she comes down. I don't want to sit here and bore you to watch this. This was a longer trade. She comes down. Now we're back under 34. So we're obviously looking for that to hold. I'm pretty sure we take the 50 shares off. Yep, right there. And then I remember somewhere in this descending triangle, GDT decided to jump in, and that was obviously what made this thing flush. And we ended up coming out with actually a pretty nice trade on this because we ended up taking our last 50 shares right around here. Yep, right there. So look how bad the first entry was. But this ended up being a profitable trade, a really profitable trade if you're trading with, good size. However, with only trading 50 shares, I ended up losing on this trade after commissions. But if you scale up with the same trade, it ends up being a great trade. Only trading gappers due to schedule. Nothing great for me today. Yeah, there wasn't too much that was great today. I actually had one stock open, and it didn't do anything at the bell. My trade today on PE and the one I wish I would have taken on AD&T they were both right off the scanner. Yeah, Jonathan trades every Friday over at Lone Wolf Day Trading. That's like their one day that they make sure they trade. I'm getting ready to do the giveaway right now, actually. I thought I was at 106. Are you trolling me? You trying to troll me? Oh, someone unsubscribed. I'm gonna cry. Wish I had the that streaming thing I used to have where I could make it look like there was teardrops coming. Teardrops are falling from my head. Okay, so real quick, we'll do but you were on BHVN. BHVN, man. I wish. Let's pull that up real quick. BHVN made a killer move. I mean, look at where she ended up. That could have been scary, in hindsight. But look at this overextension. And this is actually proof, that price action is key, because she didn't just go, look, she ended up consolidating up here in between 58 and 59, but she started down here at 49. And when she shot up here, to 56.74, she didn't just go straight to that 58.59 area. She decided that, okay, I'm overextended. There's a bunch of people that don't know where this is actually going to end up, so they start to sell. There's a lot of people that see, okay, this thing is super overextended, so they start to short it. And that's the principle behind the strategy. We're looking for that super overextension, and we're looking for that sell-off to happen, come back to VWAP, and kind of entertain itself around there for a little bit, and that's how we make the money. But yeah, this was just a little bit too pricey for me. So I wasn't about to take, I had Twitter in my mind, when I pulled this up, and I would have had to take like 25 shares, to start this thing. And I wasn't going to do it. Yeah, it's got to move a whole point just to make $25. That's tough. But this thing obviously did. If you got in over 56.50 and got in out around VWAP, it's 54. So that was $75 ish. No, it's like $60, 62.50. But so with the giveaway, I decided to choose somebody. The giveaway was, it's going to be a week of these scanners, these beautiful guys. I don't know why. I thought I had my webcam up here for this, or maybe I do. I just don't have it clicked. There we go. So it's a week of these beautiful scanners up here for free. And I'm actually going to have it set up for tonight. So if I can get a hold of you tonight, if you're in here, that'd be nice. And you'll actually have access to the Learning Center within the Intensity Stockwatch website, which I would like to just show you real quick. Oops, member login. Let me make sure I'm not showing anything crazy here. Learning Center. There we go. Oh, what happened? It logged me out. One sec. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay. So, ISW has a learning center, and I mean, it has pretty much everything in here that you need to learn about, I'll just call him B for now, but the guy that, made these scanners and kind of runs everything, I mean, he's just a great guy, and he's so knowledgeable. He reaches out to make sure that you're doing everything right, making sure you're on the right path, and just coming in here and just going through all this. I mean, there's so much valuable information in here, and this alone is, worth the price of admission at times. I come in here at least once a week to kind of refresh and just look at stuff that maybe I might not have seen. It's like when you reread a book, you tend to hear things that you didn't hear the first time. But with that said, the person that I am going to give the free week and weekend of Scanners and Learning Center to is Brad the Baker. And I chose Brad because, I talked to him just a little bit, and he just seems like he could really take that next step by not just having the scanners available to him next week, but by being able to jump in that learning center and really strive, towards, just taking that next step. Look at that face. But, his comment really hit me, and then I ended up talking to him a little bit more. He said he's been teaching himself for over 2 years, and he thinks it'll be a great chance, for him to learn even more. And, I know that he bakes, and I love baking or baked goods, so that always helps. And, but, ended up talking to him a little bit more and just really think that these will benefit him. So I will definitely, if you're in here, Brad, go ahead and contact me via the email, or actually, I'll stick it in here as well. Let's make sure I spelled that right. And I do love baking. Can't say that I don't. I love edibles too. But anyways, Brad, congratulations. I'll try to get in contact with you at some point, so that you actually throughout the weekend can go through the Learning Center on your own time, and hopefully we'll see you in there on Monday morning as well. And hopefully we can show you what ISW has to offer. So again, congratulations. Let's get back to another GDT trade, and this is actually TGTX. I knew he traded that one. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. I mean, look at all the green on the time and sales as she's coming up to that key high of day break / $9 mark. So essentially we already watched this one, but maybe we'll actually get a little bit of a better view from it just based on his time and sales. His are a little bit easier to read. So there was that 9 pop. And as you can see, just look at the red and white instead, and perfect. Look at that. We had the same. Actually, you got over 9. How? You stole my shares. You stole them. And then, I mean, this thing was beautiful. She went right back down under 9, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that over 9, over the whole dollar, and then we're looking for it to get back under that whole dollar and then hold. That's really the first step, that we're looking for, and that's always a good thing. Is obviously once we got in for that reason of the pop of a certain key resistance level, and we're looking, or not always a resistance level, but like if she's spiking, obviously there is no resistance levels up there for the most part. But we're just looking for those key points, but the tape reading and reading the time and sales, it really has a lot to do with it. And again, this would have been such a good ad here. I mean, she tries to go high a day. I know Jonathan would have loved this. This is like his play, just not on high a day type breaks. He likes them down below, but he loves when they come up, retest, and fake out, and then that's when he likes to get in. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. Difference in how we enter. Did you? Oh, well, that could be true. Did you enter on the ass there? I smashed the bid. I don't want to miss the trade, because I trade so much. Yeah, I mean, you might have just hit it. I mean, it couldn't have been that much, different. If I went and lined up the videos, I'd actually be curious. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna leave this one. Let me pause it and leave it open for later. I'm gonna put them side by side so that the time and sales match up and just see what happens. But I mean, that's kind of pointless, because now that I think about it, if I just go back, I can see what was on the bid when you hit the button. Because when I went back and looked at mine, I slowed it down and I looked at the bid, and it was $8.99. So, where's your? Okay, where? Right here. So it does say $8.99. I mean, it jumps there. Yeah, how'd you get 901? I'm jealous. I mean, I think we literally hit it right at the same time. You got 901, I got 8.99. What a joke. I use limit order. I would never use a market order. Well, I mean, yeah, it gives you the best available price, I guess. I mean, that's the one problem with SureTrader. I'm pretty sure is that since you're buying the shares from them, you're always going to just get what the bid or the ask is, pending if you're buying, shorting, whatever. Okay, we'll leave your CERN trade for last. We'll go to, what is this, DSS? Yeah, Lightspeed versus SureTrader. That's very true. I'm working on it. Yeah, this was one of the earlier videos that I made, hence I'm not in it, and my montage and everything's kind of white. I wasn't using the dark theme. So this one, we had the high day break. actually think, yeah, this one was a little bit lower of a float. This one was at 13 million. And we'll just hit play. So we were looking for, we were just looking for this high day break, and then we were looking for this thing to just kind of, this was a pure tape reading trade here. So we saw 185. You see me go up to hit it, and I see all these reds printing 181, 182, and then I'm pretty sure you see a bunch of 180s coming through, and that's when I decide to hit it. I mean, look how she's kind of stalled out here at 182. There we go. See the 180s. She attempts to kind of climb back up, but again, she's kind of, I mean, she isn't super extended here, and I'm pretty sure I was looking for 2 on this one because of the daily. I do remember this one. I think this one keeps going on us. Which is actually, again, this is this first entry. That's why I use it as a starter position, because you should never go full size on the first position using this strategy specifically, because you never know when it's going to turn and just keep going. And that's the beauty of this strategy, is you don't always have to be right. But if I was right here and this thing flushed all the way back down, to say 160 or something, beautiful. But unfortunately, we weren't on this one. But it's not that unfortunate, because it's just going to go up and we're just going to, better our average. And, we look left on this one. We saw the range wasn't that crazy. Look at all this resistance to the left here at 2. I'm pretty sure both of these were at 2. This one obviously popped a little higher than 2. And then even all the way up here where all this resistance is, it's under 3. So if she really wants to take us for a ride, that's not a bad thing if it does it all at once. We're looking for the quick extensions all at once. So as you can see, she's going to decide to keep going. So at this point, we're really looking for this thing to get closer to 2. But again, we know this thing isn't going to just run crazy on us. But I do remember, I'm never looking to really add unless we get like a nice extension over my first entry, which this one actually does because she pops over 190. But as you can see, look, green, green, green. So I don't feel like she's done. And there we go. We get the 190 pop. And then look at this. So I'm pretty sure this is where we add, because we see her failing. She's stalling out here at 190. And then right here, I think is where no, I didn't add there. This has to be where I add. I mean, she's pretty much stalling out 193, 192. Yeah, right there. Okay. You could just, you could literally, I got lucky actually that she held up there that long. Usually she won't hold up there that long. But you could just tell that she was hitting that top. It was like just banging your head into the ceiling over and over again, and it's just not going anywhere. So if you keep banging your head hard enough into the ceiling, eventually you're just going to fall down. And that's what this does. And that's the beauty. So we got in around like 180. We added up at 193. So obviously that wasn't exact, because our average looks like 185.5. So we took off half those shares that we added, actually under that. So we actually ended up with half of our shares realized, and now we have our new average up higher, and it's the original share size. So just in case she were to run against us again, to go up over 2, that'd be beautiful. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't. She actually ends up, she just kind of hovers there for a little bit, I think, and then, yeah, she came crashing down. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. So, just watch the tape. You'll see, like, a red, and then you just start seeing it, and then this is when everybody starts to panic. They're like, oh, crap, everybody's selling 85. So there's bam, 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 bam. And we're out. So that was that one. And, this can work in reverse, too, guys. I'm very short biased, but, it does. If you get something overextended on the downside, it does work in reverse. Yo, you're still live. Yeah, why wouldn't I be, man? Hasn't even been an hour yet. I'm coming up on an hour here in what, like 30 seconds? That's usually what I plan for, is about an hour. If you guys carry me over that, then so be it. Let's do one more mine. Actually, we'll do 2 more, and then we'll have one for me and one for GDT. Excuse me. That was definitely a rum burp. So this one was TYHT. This one, actually, I played the descending triangle in this one in pre-market. As you can see, this was a pretty beautiful descending triangle. She came down. She kept trying to go up and failing. And I just hit this right at the support level, looking for it to break. And she did. That's what descending triangles do. nice para move, come down, start coming up, start forming, start squeezing real tight. And she tried one last time, didn't get very far. And, when she started doing this, I remember this trade too. I'm looking for this VWAP to hold, worst case scenario. Didn't even get that far, and then she flushed out. And then right at the bell, I was only looking at this because I had already traded it. And I knew VWAP was right here at 160. Obviously, she's already overextended for the day anyway. She's obviously showing signs that she doesn't necessarily want to, succeed in life. So I was really looking for this thing to kind of para, up to like 180, 190, maybe even test 2 again. And I was looking to short it. But as we're watching this at the bell, you'll see that just look at the volume flying in, but she's hitting that ceiling. It's a good analogy. She's just hitting the ceiling over and over again. 144, 140, or 154, 154, 155. You see all these orders coming in. If you're getting all these orders and you're not flying up, the odds are all these orders are just going to eventually sell out because they're not going up. Obviously, she went up like 2 or 3 more cents, but that's where we were looking for VWAP to hold, and sure enough, she does. So again, we obviously would have been looking to play the strategy like I've shown you in the other ones, but just reading the tape there at the bell, you could kind of just see that she didn't want to go. Like, she didn't want to fly high. She wasn't a peacock. She didn't want to fly. But as you can see on this one, she ends up flushing out. Again, just reading the tape, look at all the red, the red just pouring in. And even when the green, and that's the thing, when all that red poured in, what was happening? The price was dropping with it. When we saw all the green coming in, what was it doing? It was just standing still. So that, again, look for that ceiling. That's what we're looking for. And yeah, I remember this. I tried to get out on the bid and it didn't let me. And that's another thing with SureTrader, not to bash them, but to get, if you put an order in for, say, I put an order in there at 141, I can only get filled at 141 on the ask. So I would have to wait for the ask to come down through 141. I can't get filled when I put in a stop limit order unless the ask comes down through it. And it's the same way going up. If I put an order in the short at, say, $2, the bid would have to go up through $2 for me to get filled for that. It's pretty stupid. And I actually talked to SureTrader about that, and they said, yeah, that's the case. Sorry. But I do end up getting out of this trade actually lower. I think we get that 140 flush, as you can see. Yeah, okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. So say you're looking for a descending triangle break or something, and it's at 140. Look at the tape right there. You're looking for all that red coming in. It means people are pounding. And usually you can kind of see that on the level 2. It could be getting eaten out, but I don't use the level 2. The time in sales is real. It tells you everything that's really happening. So I'm pretty sure we end up getting out at 140 anyway, because as you can see, look, she's hitting that bottom. It's like the ceiling in reverse. She's trying to go down, but now she's printing red, but it's all the same number. So then when she starts, when she started printing green, the price was climbing. So that, and I actually learned this lesson pretty quick too. When you make a huge move up, per se, when you are climbing, you're clearing out the liquidity as you go up, right? So if you come to fall down, all those people that were selling at those levels are no longer there. So when you come to sell, there's not going to be that many people on the way down because they just cleared it out on the way up. And it works the same way down, coming back up. So if everyone's selling into everyone that's buying or covering, then when it goes to go back up, and this is why short squeezes happen so often, when you're coming back up, you don't have anybody to sell into or cover into because they're gone as you were coming down. So that's why when you get those big moves, you usually see that rubber band effect because there's no liquidity in that last area that you just ate through, if that makes sense. GDT, essentially it is. If you're never actually going to market, then how can you consider yourself an actual broker, right? That's kind of how I would think about it. Essentially, you're just trading through the broker, which is what CFDs are. So, essentially, I guess it could be. All right, let's do one more mine. and then we'll do GDTs. Which one? Oh, we already did Twitter. So technically we only got 2 more. Just ARQL. Okay, yes, this one's perfect. We'll do GDTs first. So we have CERN, and if I remember correctly, he ends up adding to this position. And that's the thing. If you notice, the bigger winners are ones that we end up adding to, because you end up with that bigger position size to come back down, and you end up with a bigger winner. But the small winners that you get for actually predicting the top the first time around, you're never going to be mad about those, right? So, anyways, let's watch the tape here. As you can see, green, green, white, white, green, green, green. So we're looking. This thing's looks like she's still going. We'll probably be looking for maybe like a 65 break here. Oh no. Okay, yep. Let's go back. I think GDT may have been a little early on this one. You don't really ever get, you kind of get that ceiling a little bit. Okay, 74, 72, 72, 7. Okay, you got higher prints there, 78. You can't be too mad about that. It did feel like she was kind of hitting the ceiling, but you never really got that selling pressure come in there. There was not many red, and look at all this green coming through. Boom. But right here, this is where, okay, we're over 65, looking for that, and look at it. It's just hitting that ceiling. Bam, bam, hitting his head. Okay, that was a great entry. Look at all that red that came in. And again, that key level, that 65 break. Okay, this thing is not done. Green, 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 green. That entry was great though. I would have not been mad with that entry. And this one too, the 50 break. Look at all this red coming in right after the 50 break. That was actually a great entry. If this thing keeps going, that's just nuts. And this is where you're kind of like, maybe one more ad, and then you're looking. But this is what you're looking for. When you get this overextension, that's just nuts. When you see the move and it's happening this quick, look at that candle in comparison to, say, this candle. Oops. I didn't click that right. So look at this candle, and then look at the normal candles. And we almost get 3 of those. More like 2 of those. But look at this one. This candle is bigger than both of these candles, and that's at the top. So this thing is super extended. So when we're looking for these entries, yeah, we're reading the tape, but we're also just playing the chart a lot. You're looking for this overextension. So as you can see, she comes back down. I'm assuming he's going to take some of his shares here. Maybe looking for the 65 break. Perfect. Yep, perfect. He actually, I believe, took the top 2. Oh, he doubled. Okay. Yeah. So he does the 1-1-2. So basically, say you were using 500 shares, you would 500, 500, and then you would hit the top of the 1,000. That really gets your average up there. And again, the more overextended she gets, the better the odds of her coming down like this. So it's really your way of getting your average up and pounding, it down with those top shares. Shaved head. And then it looks like he pretty much got out of his whole position right there, which is probably pretty good because, yeah, it did look like she was stalling on the tape as if she was trying to use 65 as support there and come back up, which she did. And he ends up taking the rest there. Be curious if, did you look at this one later? Okay, yeah. So she ends up pretty much she has a fake out breakout here. Pretty much a descending triangle minus that fake out breakout. And then she just dumps out. So you're obviously not, this is perfect. You're not looking to really be in a trade this long. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for this quick move, and we're looking for quick profits. And that was a $92.50 winner. So good trade, man. Good trade. Didn't meant, I don't know what word that is supposed to mean. Yeah, didn't mean to miss CERN. You didn't, I don't know what word that's, want. Yeah, CERN. Maybe you have a history with it, but I remember seeing this and I just saw the price and walked away. Oh, so it has a history of dropping quickly. And yeah. I totally don't disagree with that first entry. I mean, she did. I had a trade up earlier where it seemed as if she just stopped right there. So I got in, and then sure enough, she did exactly what Cern just did. The second entry was great too. The pop over 65, and she actually looked like she was failing. And then the third entry was great. I mean, you actually hit that. I mean, it looked like when I saw you hit it, it was down in 64.30s, but you got up higher. You were up near 65.50, I think it was. 65.53. Yeah, that was a beautiful last entry. So on to the last one. Again, if you guys have any questions, shoot them out. You know, this is all I got. This is my last one, and this was in my early days. This is when I was first learning the strategy, and I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but I really think I picked up quickly on, I had already knew how to somewhat read the tape and read the time and sales per se, but I've just it's part of the strategy that has really made it work for me so far, is just being able to do that, read the tape. And this one, I just read it so perfectly, but I just didn't know the rest of the strategy that well quite yet, and this was literally the perfect strategy. No, I'm not balding. I actually have a lot of hair. It's always just a mess. Yeah, I'll keep it off for you for now. Gross. You're just mad because you don't have any. And I just like to support the Caps, baby. Now, honestly, I've just always worn hats. It's just growing up. I always played baseball, so I always had a hat. So anyways, let's watch the tape on this one. Obviously on this one, she's already high a day. I mean, this thing set up perfect. She had volume. If I remember correctly, she was like the perfect float. Yeah, well, not perfect. She was a little high for me, actually. She's over 100 mil, like right over 107 mil. But, I mean, she was in the perfect price point, and let's just watch it, and you'll just see how stupid I was. So I actually almost I remember saying, I was like, crap, I'm going to miss it, because I thought that she was going to die there, and then it was a miracle. I mean, this trade should have been so awesome. I mean, as you can see, green. Obviously, at this point, I'm looking for the 5 pop, or just, to see if she's actually going to fail 5. But I think she just pops right through it. Right here, I was a little sketched. I was like, I'm not going to get that 5 pop, because I was being super picky at this point, because it was, the strategy was still new. And I was like, I really want the 5 pop to be safe. I want to be in over the whole dollar and be able to get out under the whole dollar. And I saw a 5 print, and I started getting a little excited. And right here is where I was like, okay, we're doing this. 5 start printing, green. We're over 5. And now I'm just looking for this thing to start hitting the ceiling. And right around here, it feels like she's hitting it. As you can see, the red coming in 510, the price kind of stopped. I get in right at 510. And don't do it. No, what are you doing? I was just, it's a scalp, I guess. I mean, she gave me let's scroll back. She gives me no indication, even on the tape, that she's not gonna just flush. Look at this. She's trying. Like, there's no green in here. Look at this. All red and white. Red, white. And the part of CGDT, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate the support. The point behind the strategy too, I mean, this is a textbook trade, for me. The textbook pop and drop is, I would have a line drawn here for resist, or it would be support now. But obviously, look at this resistance line that would be here. Can I draw a line? No, I gotta use this thing. So we got the line there. So she pops through, and the idea behind the strategy now, that we've been doing it for a while, is we want that extension up through a key point, which was the $5 mark, and then to come back down to this 470 area. And even now, we would at least still be looking for that 5 break. I mean, we had such a good entry there, and she gave us no indication on the time and sales that we should have been getting out. And as we keep playing this through, you'll see she comes right under 5, and she just continues to flush. And at this point, if we were still in, we'd be looking for 5 to kind of hold as resistance, and then we would be looking for this to get down towards like the 470, 475 area. And I'm just trying to, I think I let this play out for a little bit because I was so mad at myself for hitting the button. I mean, this would have been a great trade. We were in 300 shares at 510. So even if we got to 480, you know, that would have been $90. And so right now, obviously, we got the flush under 5. So now we would just be looking, because obviously, you know, we're not looking for it to go straight down, but we'd be looking to see if it does try to retest 5. We'd be making sure that it doesn't go over. I mean, we had such a good entry. So I think we keep watching this. Okay, so after the fact, she came down to about 480, but look, I mean, she does end up, she comes down and actually descending triangles right through it. So, I mean, even better. So here's that line that we had drawn. And look, she comes down, she tests it right there. She never gave us a reason. She never goes back over 5 to be out of this trade. And sure enough, she comes down right to where now we would have our, you know, order in to get out. And sure enough, she actually formed a descending triangle. So we might have been looking for that to go down to VWAP because of that. Because look how she squeezed tight coming down, forming the descending triangle. And then sure enough, she flushes on the descending triangle, hits VWAP, kind of holds there for a minute, and then, you know, kind of continues. So that could have been a great trade. But yeah, I mean, my entries have been pretty on point, you know, and that's, it all comes down to reading the tape. I mean, if you can understand how to read the tape, time and sales, I mean, it's what it really comes down to. I mean, the idea of knowing that you're looking for these overextensions like this, then it comes down to just key points. You can look for those key points on the daily. You can just use the half dollar, whole dollar like I do. You know, just those are 2 big resistance points. Obviously, the 200 MA on the daily is also a big resistance. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that you can find your resistance points. You can find them from the pre-market. But again, I'm looking for the ones that go high a day. You can play the same strategy on down gappers. That's what Lone Wolf does. Lone Wolf looks for the down gappers. He looks for the pops, these same overextensions, just on stocks that were down for the day, because the odds are they were down on the day for a reason. So if he gets in on the overextension as it's coming back up, then you can play it as it's coming back down on a stock that is already proven that it should probably be down on the day. Hey, what's up, man? Collect my free giveaway prize. Oh, we already gave that away. You weren't here. I actually tried to give it to you, but you weren't here to collect. So from SMB Capital, they say what separates the great traders from the good is the ability to read the tape. You picked it up quick, which makes you your future. Hopefully. I mean, that's the hope. I mean, I do like to think that it looks like I'm picking my nose here. But I mean, that's the goal, you know. Hopefully we can start getting these same trade. I mean, I remember when I went back and watched this trade, because again, this is my journal. You know, I go back through my trades all the time, and when I every time I watch this one, it just kills me. And now every time I'm going through it, I obviously know this by heart at this point, but when I just see this, I'm like, what was I doing? Like this is the perfect trade for my strategy, is feeling that top tick. I mean, it wasn't a top tick. I think the top was 513, 514. But I mean, right here, look at all, I mean, you're looking for, because think of it from, and this is another reason why the strategy can work if you're short bias, is because think of it from the long side. From the long side, you're looking for this high day break to make this run, right? So when it makes this run, then what are you looking for if you're long biased? You're looking for it to come down and hold this as support. So if it would come down and hold this as support, you would be looking to get back in to make the next run. And then you would try to break this high a day and do the same thing over and over again. So by knowing that, from being a person that traded that, I implemented that into this strategy, that if I can feel the top here, and knowing that most people are going to be looking, you know, they're going to stop buying because they, you know, see that this was kind of the top because of the big flush, they're going to be looking for this to hold as support. So the odds are, you know, the market has to go to where the liquidity is. So if all of the liquidity is sitting here because people are buying, you know, support, looking to sell at resistance, the odds are the price is going to come down there, because no one's buying, you know, in the middle here, because, you know, no one smart is buying in the middle there. So if everyone's going to be buying down here on support, the odds are that all the liquidity is going to come right down to it. So that cover is just the worst. So, I mean, with that said, I don't really have anything else. That was kind of my presentation for the night. I'd be glad to go over anything, answer any questions. So shoot them out. It is. I mean, having everyone in here, it's great. Anybody got any good plans for the weekend? We can start with that. Go a little off topic for a minute. See if the Pens ended up losing. Oh, they did. Nice. Got an empty in there. They're beating them 2-0. Nice. Are you seeing bounces incoming from tape reading and exiting right before? There's usually a split second or two where you see that's about to happen. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure in a couple of the ones that I had shown you. Obviously, I can't remember which ones off the top of my head. Let's go back to that one real quick since we were just watching it. Whoever unsubscribed, I'm mad at you. I was at 106, now I'm at 105. It was you, Jonathan, I know it. ARQL. Because I know I kept this open. So as this thing is flushing down, let's see where, okay. So as she's flushing down, what are you doing? Get out of there. Quality went to crap. Okay. So she's coming down. I mean, it works the same in reverse, and that's a lot of times too. If we get down to a certain point now with a trade and it's not exactly at my profit target that I'm looking for, sometimes I will look to get out because you can kind of feel that she might be done. So like right here, you can kind of see 87, 87, printing 88. And it was like, I forget, I think it was on GDTs where it was hitting the bottom. And I remember which one it was. 490. But as you can see, she started printing it. And it was when I was explaining, just like hitting the ceiling, if you're seeing the same number print over and over and over again, obviously there's a ceiling there. So the odds are if it can't get through that, what's going to happen? You're going to fall down. If you're smashing, trying to get through the ceiling or the floor, and you can't get through that floor, and then you see greens start printing, and the price actually is moving up, that's the point that you can probably figure out that she's going back up. Cody, welcome. Whoa, wait a second. This isn't the men's room. I mean, we try to be gender neutral. Options talk. All right, here. Options. I mean, I bought Disney options. What were they? 129 calls like 2 days ago. So am I doing good? I think. I'm not sure. I was on Reddit, and that's all they freaking were talking about was Disney calls. Jonathan's more than welcome to talk about options, but we're not talking about options on my channel. Not seriously, anyway. Let's see. I think I got the wrong one. Yep. Was that the right one? I thought it. Oh yeah. No. Okay, there it goes. Let's see, where are we at? Spectra Security. Oh, look at those tushies. I have some of these Spectra Securities coin via Lone Wolf and giveaway. What a man. Look at that, man. We're killing it. weren't we at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Weren't we at like 6 zeros and 2 the other day? Well, that's what Lone Wolf Day Trading calls them, tushies. I mean, if I get enough shots in me, I can't say that it won't happen. Ask Lone Wolf; he'll tell you what a tushy is. I think it's actually, what is it, a satoshi or a zatoshi? It's basically what a satoshi. That's it. If I remember correctly, what he was telling me, it is basically what this number is in Bitcoin. So you take the price of the coin, and you can see how many satoshis it has to compare it to the price of Bitcoin. Is that right, Jonathan? I did not sneeze. Did I? No, I don't think so. Bitcoin price times the Satoshi equals the dollar amount. There you go. That was close. Mario's and Luigi's? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Satoshis. I don't know why people trade these Tushis. So 5,000 times... Oh, because that's what they're at. All right, let's do the math. Let's see. 5,000 times 0.1234563. And then times... Oh, that's crap. I thought it was at... Weren't we at 17 when this all started? Man, screw crypto. Yeah, wasn't it 17 before? I feel like it went way up, though, didn't it? Let's take a look. I'm still learning my way around this. We want this candle, right? This is the candle we want? But we're at this candle. Spike. Yeah, we're going to get the spike, and I have no idea how to use it to my advantage. I don't even know how to trade my coin. Still working on that. Maybe next Friday night we'll talk about cryptocurrency. I'll literally run the countdown, do the intro, and then end the stream. Trying to think if there's anything I can tell you guys about reading the time and sales or taping. I mean, it's one of them things, just like Rocket League, where anyone can play, but not everyone can master it. And it really is, to me, the more I do it and the more I see, some of the professionals do it, watching, them do it on video or whatever, it really is an art form. I mean, reading the tape is not easy, because one person might be looking at that and they're just like, what am I looking at? All I see is just numbers. I see Christmas trees going up and down, but some people can really dissect it, in real time. And those are the people that, can use it to their advantage. And apparently I like to think that I'm one of them. So I'm trying to explain the best I can, and maybe in the future we'll come back to this subject if I've actually, thought of an easier way to discuss it or teach it. But I feel like the ceiling, like hitting your head into the ceiling, was a good analogy. And really trying to pound through the floor, that was another good analogy. But other than that, it's really just kind of feeling it. Like, and you'll hear me saying pretty much all my videos while I'm live trading, I'm really just trying to feel it. You're watching it and you kind of embrace, the risk. And that's why you always want to have, like, I always look left on the daily. I always, look left obviously on the main chart as well, but usually it's high day, so that doesn't really matter. And I always check the float, so there's always some sort of predetermined risk as well. while making these trades. But I can show you that since I've started using this strategy, I mean, look at all the green. I mean, I don't not input trades. So I started using this strategy on CLF. This was my first time using the pop and drop strategy. And yeah, the old OCX. I hate you, OCX. But so since CLF, like, so if we just go from 2.8 to today, you'll see that I am 22-2, which was 91.67%. Now, the problem with this is, sure, I'm close to 92%, win-loss, and technically I should be 23-1, but I had a buying power issue with one of my trades, and in ACHC, I won't forget that one. That was a $30-some stock. It was restricted by SureTrader to 3-1 instead of 6-1, and I didn't know it, and it ended up. I tried to add at the top, that third ad, and I didn't get it, and it would have been a great winning trade, but neither here nor there. But looking at these numbers like this. And as you can see, I haven't even been profitable because one of the one loss that I did take on IVC was just pure idiocy. I don't know. I was an idiot. I'm having a brain fart on how to say that. But I took way too big of a loss on that one. And as you can see, after commissions, because of that, I've, even though I'm 22-2, I've actually still lost money after commissions. I mean, that's crazy. But regardless, the strategy, and this is also taking a bunch of small wins like ARQL where they should have been big wins, but, I was just learning the strategy. And that's the other thing too, is what I was getting at in the first place, is I've been so picky with the entries. That's why I only have 24 trades since, when did this start? February 8th. So it's been 2 months and I've only been in 24 trades. So the problem with that is I'm being too picky. And, if I were to just be at like 80%, but I have 4 times the amount of trades, you see where I'm going with that? Like, I would be winning more than I'm losing, and because there's so many trades where, like, let's pull up like BHVN just for instance. Like, say this was a $5 stock and I would have played it, and it made the same move. Say this went up on just this first candle, I wouldn't have, like, right now I'm still kind of borderline. Like, I wouldn't play that because I'm looking for this super overextension. Like, I really wanted to get super overextended, so I know that I have a huge chance of the odds being in my favor that I'm going to win on the trade. So there's so many moves throughout the day that I miss because of that, where a lot of them will die on like the top of the second candle, and I'm waiting for this big third candle, and I'll miss these moves all day where I could have just got in, but because it didn't give me the odds that I'm looking for, where it gave me that super extension instead of just the overextension, I'm missing those trades right now because, one, I'm, trying to build the account. 2, I'm trying to learn the strategy, to its fullest without losing money. And just 3, sometimes it's just, I'm still new. Like, the emotions are still rolling through me. And, knowing that these big third candles can happen, it's sometimes hard, to fathom getting in right there, because you're like, well, this thing could keep running. I'm looking for that, play that I feel I'm getting in at the top. And, that is what it is. Just trying to be super transparent as much as I can. And yeah, I mean, it's good quote, right? The more I do it, it really is an art form. Seeing the buying speed slow down and stop, then sellers start hitting the bids slowly as your signal, and seconds later, the selling turns to panicking. And it's true, you're right. So, like, take for instance this pop here. It went over 50. It actually got on. Let's go to an easier stock to read. Let's go back to AD&T. So, like, here, she pops up, and as like she gets up to 21.89 and everyone hears like, okay, this thing's ripping out of the gate. She gapped up a little bit, let's go over 22. Well, once people start realizing, okay, she's not going to 22 and she's just hovering here, people start to sell. And then once people start selling, they see that, all that's going through is red. They're like, crap, I need to get out now. You got to remember too, like say people like, this one went to 2092. It started to pull back just a little bit, and then everyone jumped in for the break over 21. So say a lot of the people were in down here, and there's only a few up in here that were just FOMO. They're jumping in FOMO, and on the way back down, now as this candle goes, all these people are still just waiting. They're waiting for this thing to keep going. But then once they see this candle start, they're like, okay, I'm going to take my profits before I end up in the red. So you have like a bunch of stop losses getting hit here. Then you have people using VWAP as support. And once it goes under there from all this panicking, that starts hitting stop losses. And it's just like that. And then all the people that shorted, now they're covering. And like I said before, there's now no liquidity in this area from top to bottom, because it all just got taken out. So when people start covering and maybe buying again, just maybe off this 20 as it was coming up or whatever, that it causes this quick squeeze because there was no liquidity in here, and it has to basically like reform itself. And as you can see, she was still weak. She made the lower high and she continued down anyway. So yeah, any veteran that I know, especially ones that have been doing it for 30 years, they tell you that every time they hit the button, they still get the emotion. I know that's never going to go away, but you just need to learn to embrace it. One of the key guys that I talk to on a daily basis, I look up to him as like a mentor, and that's what he tells you. You need to embrace the risk. You need to tell yourself to be more scared. He was like, literally, when you hit the button, tell yourself to be more scared. Just like yell it at yourself. You say, be more scared, kind of thing. Like it'll almost get you to the point like, what am I scared of? Like, I understand, like I got into this trade for a reason. I know the risk that's involved. I have a plan and a strategy. Follow it. Right? So what am I scared of? You're obviously scared of losing money. Everybody's scared of losing money. You're here to win money. You don't want to lose money. So the more you can embrace the feelings instead of, being scared of the feelings, it really does tame it a little bit. And I've really felt myself doing that. And it also, what that's done for me is it's allowed me to hold the positions longer because I'm starting to see the bigger picture. The more I do it, obviously, the more experience of seeing the charts happen over and over again. And just the more you have that feeling inside, the more you learn to kind of hone it in and kind of not take advantage of it, but just learn to tame it. Are you leaving us, Scott? Later, Trader Sauce, have a good night. Or did Trader say he was leaving? Who, Scott? He's in Discord, or I know he's in Discord, not the Lone Wolf channel. I could definitely send it to him if he's interested. Everybody should be interested. Who's leaving? Are you leaving, Scott? I didn't see that. Somebody shoot me a question about anything. Time and sales, reading the tape, whatever you want. I'm about to take another shot just because. I thought Jonathan was going to have me drink. I even bought this shot glass when I was out Easter shopping, at the dollar store. Last week, I was taking shots out of a wine glass. It's helped me focus on the market by accepting the loss before taking the trade. Doesn't work 100%, just helps you focus. Yeah, and again, that's actually kind of the down part of me being super picky is I'm basically setting myself up for failure. Because when I start to try to expand and take those, 80% trades instead of what I think are 100% trades, it's really going to, I'm going to have to start learning how to lose, basically. And I have a strategy in place for that. I've paper traded a bunch and practiced on purpose losing. I'm not losing on purpose, but I'm taking stocks that I know that continue to run, and I'm trying to enter them as realistic as possible as if I normally would, and I'm trying to learn how to get out of them for as a minimal loss. And I really do feel that's actually how I taught myself to add and then try to get rid of those shares as quickly as possible on that flush if I can, so that if she does keep going, I can keep doing that over and over again. So I'm getting my average up while maintaining my original share size on the way up. Explain your volume bars and do you use it? Yeah, volume is key. If you notice, a lot of traders sometimes will post videos about them trading these stocks that they're only trading 40-50,000 every 2 minutes, or like every minute every 2 minutes. And I just can't do those. I mean, you're not reading the tape in that. You're literally just kind of playing the chart at that point. So unless you get moves like this, like here, let me pull up the trade from today. If you haven't liked and subscribed, do it. So when I took my entry here, we're looking at the volume bar. So she had 500 and some thousand on just that second bar. And what I remember seeing here was looking at the volume kind of dying down. And that's usually not a good sign. And I'll tell you why. Because when you get overextended like that, and then there's no volume coming in for the selling pressure, that usually means that there's nobody selling. So if nobody's selling, then what's going to happen? Price is going to go up. And in this case, she does try, and you'll see the volume actually come in, and that's actually a good sign. It turns from a bad sign to a good sign, because look at all this volume come in, but she doesn't go anywhere. So she's hitting the ceiling pretty hard when all this volume comes in, as you can see here, which is a good thing, because then that means, of course, I clicked over. I mean, look at all this volume that came in. So she did try, like, look, she didn't even get high a day, and she had higher volume than the bar before. That's a good sign that if people were buying trying to break high a day, the odds are that they couldn't get through with all that volume, that it's going to come back down. So that's really how I use volume. What you don't want to see is a ton of volume, and then on like the next bar, just no volume, and the price doesn't come down, because that usually means that she's going to keep going. So that's one way that you can use it. The bar color is both red and green. Well, yeah, it's showing you how much was, like, it's literally taking the time in sales and converting it into volume. So if people are hitting the ask, it's green, and if people are hitting the bid, it's red. So just because the price goes up like this doesn't mean, because there's times where you'll have a bar like this where it goes straight up and it'll be 75% red. But think of it, when people are shorting, if they're all shorting into that floor and the price isn't moving, and then the 25% of that volume bar is green and it shoots straight through the liquidity going up, then that's how that happens. Because as you can see on the second bar, it was a smaller bar, but it was 75% green, and she still made a big move. Any advice to someone about to open trade in a TEFS account in June for trading large cap gap and goes? Don't blow up your account. No, I mean, gap and goes are what I used to trade. And hold on. My hat's in the way now. My desk is so small. I can't even put my hat on. Hit my mic stand and everything. Just because. It's like, it gets you a little bit, but it's just so, it's so yummy. it burns a little, obviously, but you gotta embrace the burn. I've always wanted to get a standing desk. I've actually been leaning my way towards one because of the kids too. It'd be so much easier to be standing and just be able to walk away. Um, yeah, the Gap and Goes, that's basically what this is. I've learned over time, that's all I traded when I first started. And to me, it's just such a 50-50 trade. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, it becomes a little bit better of a percentage, but I've just, you really need the follow through. You need the volume. You need the volume to come in, and you need the follow through for it to work. One of my biggest problems in the past was getting good trades, getting overconfident, adding too big of size, and failing to cut losses because I couldn't accept the loss given my share size. Yeah. I'll go back to my journal real quick. My non-video journal. These are all my trades. This was my first day of trading. I literally made 3 trades throughout the day. And if we go in and look at the share size, my first day of trading ever live, I was using 2,500 shares. And that's because, see a chair sauce, Amazon 220 frame. And yeah, I have to look into it. Standing desk is definitely something. I'm not really, in budget for one right now, but it's definitely something I'll look into in the future. I've always thought about it. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, and subscribe. I know you're already subscribed, but I don't even know why I'm saying like, because I really don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I knew what I was doing because I, paper traded and I watched people on YouTube using the same amount of shares, and I did it on, paper for a couple weeks, and I was making tons of money using the share size. So I was like, I'll just make a real account and I'll do it for real. And as you can see, that was one trade down 275. Another trade, I was buying in and out of Cron, which that thing was just stupid. That thing traded so stupid. Like, thinking back, I was literally just guessing. I was like, okay, I think she's done. I think she's done going down. I'm just going to buy here. I had no plan whatsoever, and I'm just buying 1,000 shares. And this thing was dumping 50 cents to a point at any point in time whenever it wanted to. Just, yeah, pretty much YOLO trading. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, I really didn't know what I was doing. And then JMU, I remember just I bought 200 shares, and then I think I meant to buy 2,000 shares. And so I fixed that problem by buying it right over the $2 break. And she did exactly what I told you guys, what I'm looking for it to happen the other way. I was one of those idiots that was buying the breakouts, looking for it to extend. And in reality, she came flying right back down. And I just slowly, I think I was just trying to max my position. I don't even know what I was doing. Look, bought 200, bought 1,800, bought 200, bought 50, and then I just sold all out of it when I realized. I think I held that like all day. Obviously the timestamps aren't right, but I'm pretty sure I held this all day, and then finally realized that I was one of those people. She's got to come back, right? She was running. She's got to come back. Boy, I mean, that was August 21st. This is my first day, August 21st. I mean, that wasn't that long ago. I was that person. I was that guy. Oh, I also traded WM. I mean, look at these share sizes. This is crazy. What was I doing? I actually made a little bit of money on that one. I mean, look at these commissions. It's just horrible. You have to risk your whole account. I mean, that's pretty much what I was doing. Yes. Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I can't praise the Dunning-Kruger enough. There it is. This thing, I look at this all the time now, just to kind of gauge where I'm at. But you literally start here, and it's beautiful. You start here, and then you watch YouTube videos for like, a week or whatever. And sure enough, you're like maybe here, and then you watch it for another week, and you're like, I got this. And then you paper trade, and you're like up here because you're killing at paper trading. And then you trade that first day and you're just like, glunk. You're like, okay, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. But then slowly over time, I like to think that, my first day, I pretty much hit rock bottom. I I put $5,000 into my account, and I told the wife, I was going to be paying for vacations. I was promising her the world. And sure enough, that first day, I lost. It was what, over $1,000. And then I remember at the end of the day, literally end of day, it was like 3:30. Nua just tanked, and I mean just tanked. It was on horrible news, but she just kept going and going. And I just remember seeing it start to come back up, and I was like, I was like, she's got to bounce, right? I was like, I've seen this happen before, it's got to bounce. So I actually played it like an idiot. How many shares did I have? I remember trying to buy 300 shares at 923 at this point, and I only got filled 50, and it just kept climbing. I'm like, oh man, I'm missing this whole move, and it got up to 1070, and I'm like, I'm missing. I could have had 300 shares. That would have been, three, whatever amount of money at that point. So I'm like, oh, I need to add, I need to get into this. So I 5x my position after she already climbed a point and a half, and I luckily she kept climbing. But I remember the next day in the morning, and with SureTrader, I didn't even know what time I could trade on my broker. That's how noobish I was. I remember being in a chat room. I don't even remember a Discord chat room. I think it was Cam the man or something. I don't even remember who it was. It was some. I only was in there because he had like a momentum channel, and that's what I was looking for, and it was free, and I was just in there. But I remember asking everybody, because this thing was up at like $15-16 in the pre-market at like 7:30, and I'm like, I'm looking, I was up like $1,000, and I'm like, I'm making, I was like on top of the world, because remember, I just lost all it. I would have made it all back, but as you can see, I only ended up making 4, because by 8 o'clock the price went from like $16-17 back down to 12, wherever I got it. What I get out at right at $12. So that sucked. It was good in hindsight, but the other thing too is it was such bad news that all that was a short squeeze. Like looking back at it, the only reason that happened, it was a short squeeze, and the less liquidity in after hours and pre-market is what made it go back up. So it was complete luck. This trade was complete luck after I had already lost. I could have basically blown up, and then Uxin, this was just a horrible trade that I got lucky. And a lot of people will tell you, in the beginning of their careers, they get lucky. I studied for 6 months before my first trade. I was a master of the universe in that. Yeah. And that's the thing, like I was in the stock market per se. I had my 407B or 403B. And I kind of paid attention to how they were investing my money. And so I was always watching the stock market, but I never was day trading. But, when I first started to get into day trading, I was only on YouTube and paper trading for a total of like 3, maybe 4 weeks before I actually just jumped in. And obviously it was a mistake. Right here, this could have easily have just been the whole account. And, getting lucky on a couple trades. And then as you can see, the numbers started kind of lowering a little bit, because I really started to realize, okay, I need to like kind of dial in my position. And I remember QTT, this was actually, I was still taking too much share size, obviously 500 shares on a $12 stock. But I remember at that time, I'm like, well, if I'm going to pay $5 in commissions minimum, I might as well take the amount of shares that I would be paying for that. That was my theory behind taking 500 shares. Like, how stupid is that? But I remember jumping in this in the pre-market as well, because I just saw it was a complete FOMO trade. But luckily, she kept going, and that was that. And then as you can see, I really started to kind of hone it in. Like, all right, I need to slow down. And that was back when I was trading Gap and Goes. going through every technical indicator, every strategy you could possibly think of, because I was still learning. I was still going through your 6 months, Scott, of learning, but I was doing it while trading with real money like an idiot. If you only had 10,000 shares, yeah, that would have been pretty sweet. And I probably would have been crying even more watching it go from $16, $17 back down to 12, even though I still would have made a lot of money. Oh, good old Wall Street bets. Let me, those guys crack me up. I was just watching them. I don't want to give away my Reddit name. Isn't that the whole point of Reddit? We'll do it incognito. Plus, I don't want you guys to know I look at porn on there. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, and this is where I was getting all the Disney calls. I mean, it was full of it today. There's actually a ton of good stuff on Instagram too. There's I guess that's not incognito. So, the trading memes. I thought it was just gonna take me to his page. Let me just find one. Scrolling down real quick. I was going through a bunch of these last night, and these are hilarious. You got oh yeah, and this is gonna be me for sure.
I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
I love it. Oh, this one is so funny. This is perfect. Can I pause? Yeah, okay. So she's full yellow. At least this person's like, okay, I've lost like 80% of my account. I'm just gonna stop. Oh man, oh, that's so great. I'm crying. I'm trying to find some of the other ones that I know are just absolutely hilarious. Don't miss that Ross Cameron webinar. Here you go. I mean, this one's pretty perfect. I mean, who doesn't, feel a little bit part of this meme? Here, when I started try to get a little serious for a second. When I started live trading, I was so emotional. I completely forgot about everything I learned. Best way to learn is with a small account you have to experience. It's true. People will say paper trade, and I totally agree with them. You should paper trade to get the basics down, but you're never going to truly understand what the market makes you feel like until you're using real money and until you lose money. And I tell myself to this day, that first day where I was all red, like I showed you guys, I couldn't be more thankful. That was one of the best things that probably ever happened to me, because it really made me kind of, be like that person, thankfully not hitting the margin call, but it made me realize that, I just went face first into something. I need to comment it. I just noticed there's like an egg in the background of it. What the heck? Yeah, Z-Lisk is absolutely true. Welcome, by the way. I think did you just get here? Or you just wait, the video made you come out of the woodworks. But yeah, no, if you should paper, like, especially if you're trying a new strategy, you should never try it with real money first. You should definitely paper trade it, because you don't need the emotion behind something to see if a strategy works. And in all honesty, you don't even need to paper trade necessarily to see if a strategy works. You can literally just back test it. Go on Thinkorswim, and you can just go back on demand, day after day after day, and just find the, stocks for the day, and, just see if your strategy would have worked. You know, a lot of times that's what I do. It's like I look for these overextensions, and it's like, how many times do you see an overextended stock literally just keep extending? And it's super rare. I mean, you're obviously going to get them, but usually they're the low float, like the super low floats, like today with RBZ, or Hunt, you know, like all those guys that are just, you know, stupid, low volume, low float, and you should just never be trading those in the first place unless you like playing the lottery. But let me let me find another one of these. I was going through like all of these, so it was pretty funny. I do feel this way sometimes.
Bro, go downstairs. No, fucking shake my head.
Bro, go downstairs. No, fucking shake my head.
But bro, yeah, a lot of these are forex based, but oh, this one's great. How 0.001% of all my trades look like. So he's got his take profit line where he's entering his stop loss. So basically, it's essentially saying it's a good thing because it goes right through his take profit, but that's why it says it's 0.001%.
Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? Are you ready?
I just love how they move. It's so cool. Keep watching. You start picking up on little things here and there. Yeah, here we go. When the minimum deposit of your broker is over 100. Application process. $100. Where I feel like I might have missed it. There was one that just made me laugh. This one was funny for all you pervs. Yeah. I would trade on my bed so I can rest my back. Yeah, these are gold. I was like scrolling through these. Yeah, and it's true, Ian. You really do have to just learn what doesn't work. Yeah, I'm sure there's been a ton of people that do this. And this is why you don't go all in on every trade, by the way. We got 30 to 100. Oh, and this is 100% true for almost everybody that, you know, there's always people in your family that are like, oh, you're gambling your money away. You market, blah, 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 blah. And this is what you don't want to do. And you'd be lucky to see me in a trade past 10 o'clock now.
Da? Ajung și în 10 minute în parc.
Watch the subtitles.
Nu mai ajung, că am avut accident.
It just cracks me up. I will not arrive anymore. Abort mission. Back to bed. I think I stopped somewhere in here. When you currently visit London.
What do you want? When do you want it? How do you want it?
So true.
What do you want?
Oh my god. Just pick a guru and stick him behind that camera. Oh man. I don't think I saw this one.
I'm at well-fined water. The best place to dig is sandy soil on an outside bend. Rain soaks in very quickly, but deeper down you might find water. Lucy, you ready?
Dig, baby, dig. Oh, yeah. I mean, this I remember watching this one, but this is basically like asking your broker to help you out with commission or something like that. Look at the guy in the background just lifting the weights. I remember that. Oh, yeah. Everybody's saying they're only going to risk 10%.
Jump in the air.
Jump in the air.
I have kids,
Jump in the air.
so I get to see myself doing this. So
Jump in the air.
all right, I feel like we completely got off subject. Does anybody have any other questions? Like real questions? Oh yeah, I remember watching this one. Oh boy. Yep, from tape reading and trading memes. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful stop loss. Oh, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've told myself, "Oh yeah, here was another one with this one's a kid." I kind of felt bad for this one. The kid just like becomes a rag doll. I can tell myself I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock, and I either get on YouTube to watch some trading videos, or I usually don't. Never been an Instagram person, but I found this page and I must have been on here for at least an hour. Just the yeah, I remember saying that. Day trader and a scalper both crashing accounts together. I'm pretty sure this is where I stopped. Oh no, yeah, I remember that. And it's funny because this is exactly what I was talking about. When the resistance, you go through it, all longs are looking for that resistance to become support. And then when it comes back down, and that new support zone didn't work. I'm pretty sure that's where I stopped. I think I kept going down and didn't see anything else that was going to keep me up any longer than it already had. So I'm sure there's plenty more gold in here, but we'll steer away for now. Yeah, man, we're you probably missed some good laughs the last probably half hour. Somebody give me a question, a real question or a fake question. We can talk about whatever at this point. But midnight will be my cutoff. So with that said, just because, don't let Jonathan see this, because if he sees that I'm doing shots for free, he might not pay for them anymore. Just kidding, Jonathan. You don't ever have to pay me. I always appreciate the support. I can't. There we go. Down the hatch. Oh, I really filled that one to the top, and I couldn't get it down in the first swallow. Excuse me. Oh no, Jonathan's still here. Now he knows. He knows I'll do them for free. I'm just waiting for him to do his next one on his channel. Get out that colossal shot glass of his. Oh yeah, we didn't even go through Wall Street bets, did we? So let me go to the top. The ones I was looking at last night. All right. It's so wrong, but it's pretty true. This guy knows about long-term investments. Yeah. Trying to just find ones that I have seen before. Not eating all day so that you can get drunk off 2 beers. It's called financial health. Oh, man. Yeah, I've seen that one off of Reddit before. Yeah, this one's great. Value investing. Marry the smart guy. Making like $300,000 a year. Stick with him. Okay, now he's worth like $8.7 billion. Wait for it. $24 billion. Okay, now it's time to file for a divorce when he's worth $40 billion. And it's crazy just like how hot she got too, you know? It's amazing what money does. I will now create 35. Yeah, I remember seeing this one. Because it reminds me of that first day. Can you imagine your first trading day after you told your wife that you're probably going to be like, you know, making a decent amount of money, and then the first day you lose over $1,000, which is at least over 20% of the account, and you have to tell her because you know she's obviously going to ask you how your first day went. You can't lie. Everything's fine, honey. It's all fine. Yeah, Scott, of course. I actually enjoy, you know, talking about tape reading because that's definitely something that I imply every day. I mean, I can't trade without it. And anybody who hasn't checked out Scott's channel, go ahead. I mean, he this past week was making trades literally with no chart. Like he was just reading time and sales. Just nuts. I don't know. I could never do it. Day trading never crossed my head when I first started trading. What do you mean? Enlighten me. Aww. Aww. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was doing with my 403B, just watching it every day. You know, I'd watch it every day, move like 2 or 3 cents and not really mean anything. But yeah, I didn't really understand what was going on. I just knew of one stock that isn't really even a stock. It was an ETF. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, we can go over any charts that you got. Like, what did you guys trade this week or today? I mean, we could look at some charts. I can't really go over tape reading time and sales with that. That's why I had all the videos queued up for us. Can't really go over that after the fact. I like to think I had 10 decent examples. Hopefully they helped you guys out. All right, Trader Cat. Yeah, appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoys your weekend. I meant to say that earlier. Sorry for not saying it earlier. Actually, let me... Oops. Where are you? There you are. Meant to... Oh, that's the incognito one. Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Questions? Would you trade? Just anything. Let me know. Oh, is this not? Wait. Oh, okay. He made a new. Oh, so he probably doesn't even use that. I was trying to get in contact with Brad while I was sitting here, but it looks like the Twitter handle that he had linked is not. It takes me to his YouTube page that isn't actually his YouTube page. So I have to just see if I can respond to him on YouTube somehow. My Twitter, excuse me. That is my Twitter handle. No, it's not. Sorry. Sometimes I forget because I didn't get volatility trading, so I had to think of one. I think it's just at Trade Volatile. No, I don't trade the VIX. I actually talked to, well, I'm having a huge brain fart. I'm getting tired. One sec, I'll think of it. Just gotta think of it. What? I'm having such a brain fart. How do I not know this off the top of my head? Of course, it's not gonna let me. There it is. David. That's it. David from over. He changed the name of his channel. The guy that interviewed me a little while back. I talked to him. He has his channel. It's solely based on the VIX. VIX. Here, I'll just look at it on YouTube. VIX Crush is what he changed the name of the channel to. I watch all of his videos. I kind of don't watch, like, sometimes I won't watch them all because I'll realize he's going into a subject that doesn't really pertain to me. And I'm not trying to say I have better things to do, but, you know, I'd rather watch a video, you know, if it's going to be 15, 20 minutes about something that actually pertains to me and my style. Get out of this. So can I delete? Yeah, let me delete that one. All right. Yeah, sometimes having volatility in my name is a pain because there's so many, like right there, the T, the I, the L, the I, and the T. It's like so in there. You have to like really look at it. Oh yeah, no, I mean I know about the VIX and I don't know. I just tried to type it. But it's just not necessarily for me. I remember like when the SPY was really going through its thing. I was, you know, looking to trade the TVIX, which is basically the bipolar opposite of the SPY. And so, like, if you look, this is exactly what the SPY looks like upside down, pretty much, at a much lower price point. And I remember when the SPY was just really crashing, obviously, she got super expensive. And I had told myself, you know, when the SPY finally goes back up, this is always something that's kind of nice to, you can play here and there, but this is definitely something you'd be looking to scalp because this is just pure algo. Right, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know all about it. Like I said, back in the day, when I first started day trading, I was looking into all that stuff. And I never really traded those just because they were a little expensive. But I just naturally kind of stayed away from them, knowing that I didn't understand what they were. I just naturally stayed into, you know, like the lower cap type stocks. I was sticking to what I had learned on YouTube, and I had learned that this is basically the volatility of the market, and I just didn't understand what it was at the time. Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely, that can be the case for anything. One thing I remember somebody telling me is, say you got in here at $12, like long, if you got in long at $12, how low this thing can go, right? It can only go to 0. But if you get in short, you you don't know where it could go. Like right here, you can only lose 12, but if you got in at 12 short, I mean, look, it's proven it can go to 36. That's literally 3-1 instead of 1-1. And that was actually why I was very long biased when I first started trading, because of that reason. I had it ingrained in my head that if I go long, I can only lose so much. And obviously people are just long biased because that's kind of what the world wants you to be. I've just learned shorting is much easier because you're literally playing into human psychology. Like, we'll go back to my trade today, just as an example. There it is. It's about to kick me out here in 9 minutes anyway. But the human psychology, if this thing was selling off, people would not short into something selling off. Like, it's just not in their to them, they'd be confused. They're like, well, this stock's weak, but it could pop back up and go crazy, but I'm not going to jump in as it's coming down. But they have no problem as it's going up jumping in near the top because they think it's just going to keep going, because it's just human psychology that they want to, go with the flow and in the right direction. So if you're jumping in long up here, what is some of the main problems people have are FOMO, taking profits too early, not cutting losses quickly. And that's the human psychology behind a lot of traders, right? So they'll buy in up here, and when it has this big drop, they're like, okay, I'm looking for this push. And when they see it coming, they're like, okay, finally, I'm going to hold, and it's going to go high a day, and I'm going to make money. And then it does this, and then now they're still holding, and they're like, okay, now it's going to do it here. And then, 5 times out of 10, this thing's going to just keep going lower, right? And that's how you have traders turn into investors. But the odds are, if they're not bag holding, what they're doing is when it comes up here and it starts selling off, obviously it didn't do what they wanted to do, so they panic sell. And that's, people panic sell a lot more than they buy fear, because people don't know how to buy fear. It's not ingrained in your head. Like when this is dumping, and like if you have a reverse play, like what was it, CWF, or what was that big one today? WFC. So when this thing dumped off today, that is not what I did. And you saw me highlight it, right? There we go. So when this thing dumped off today, there's nobody that, is looking to buy, really. I mean, these are probably just people covering their shorts. But one of the best places you can buy is when this thing finally kind of finds its bottom. I mean, that wouldn't have been a bad place. I'm pretty sure GDT actually had a trade right here. I think he bought right in here somewhere and sold somewhere right there. And again, I mean, it just dumps off again, and you could essentially, I mean, this is no different than my strategy, just in reverse. So imagine this was flipped and these were all green, this would be exactly what I'm looking for. So why not do it the other way? And the reason it doesn't work as well is because when something sells off like this, everyone just thinks it's dead, right? Nobody wants to buy a dead stock. But when it's going up like crazy, everybody wants to get into a stock that's going to the moon, You see what I'm saying? It's the human psychology behind it that really I feel gives me an advantage, because when you're getting into something near the top as it's going up and it starts coming down, you're going to get this kind of selling pressure because people are saying, I want to take my profits. I don't want a red trade. And then when it gets under their entry, they're going to possibly stop out, or they're going to have it like a key part on the chart where it's going to make them stop out. And it's so ingrained in our heads to, sell when we're not winning, that's why you always get, those big flushes after you get the moves up, because people are, I got to take my profits. I got to do this. I got to do that. And it actually cut me off 5 minutes early. Crappers. But to me, that's why I'm pretty short biased now, because I'm literally going against normal human psychology. So it almost, to me, gives me another edge within the market that is already hard to, play. But any edge that we can get is an advantage. I guess I'll just close this because it's the weekend. Why is this over here? I don't even know why I have a bookmark for that. But any more questions? Yeah, I haven't went long, and I don't even know how long it's been. So I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. If anybody that's left has any questions, shoot them out now. I'll go ahead and answer them, and I'm gonna be looking to get off here in a few minutes. I'll be right back. No questions? I was hoping to answer something. Boo. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Man, woman, don't know. I don't think we've ever officially met. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate all the questions, all the feedback, all the comments, wisdom, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. I'm not going nowhere. This is going to be a Friday night thing. This is my family. I don't know why I have them up on the screen, but I do. Let's bring this over here. Let's hit premium. See what we're getting into. But, all right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it. This has been good. Again, 9:30 to midnight. I was not expecting this. I don't know why I did that either. But next Friday, we'll if you guys have any suggestions for next Friday night, just leave them down in the comments, or just let me know in any of the videos throughout the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And obviously, if you guys think of any questions or comments after the fact, just you can email me. I'm always there to respond to emails if you want to talk more privately and not in the comment section. But it's been great, guys. Appreciate everything. I always appreciate the support. And I guess I'll just talk to you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. And Monday it is. Peace.